Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Challenge Pokemon Stadium, and in this part we're going to take on the Celadon gym and hopefully not have too much trouble. We're going to be doing the same stuff again, the Pokemon Yellow team, just as you know. I suppose I have actually 7 questions to answer in this video, so I suppose I should get started. What's that down there, a Cubone? Do you know what, I think G is the best all-round decision, and Bill Murray, and let's go with Edgar, just because Edgar hasn't had much screen time these days.
The
next question was asked by It's Your Friend Steffi, who's a cool commenter. I hope I pronounced your username properly. And It's Your Friend Steffi asked whether, like, my friends at home know that I LP, or whether any of them are viewers. I do have a lot of friends, like most of my friends know that I do this. They don't watch, more than likely, because I don't really have any friends that are interested in video games, and I never have had. That's why video gaming was always a really solitary thing for me, and still is. Like, I didn't start getting to know people that feel the same way about video games as I do until I started LPing, because there just was nobody else around that plays video games the same way I do. And that's another great reason to get into LPing, is that you meet people that are interested in the same thing. And like I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who never had friends who were interested in video games like this. So like LPing is a great way to connect with people like that. So like my friends do know like that I do this, but they're not regular viewers, because just that they're not interested in LPing anyway. So my family don't know that I LP. I'd say my dad has an idea that I upload something, but like I don't think that they, like, it's not that they'd care whether I do or not. It's just that let's say, like, I'm a really secretive person. I really am. I do like keep a lot of things to myself, for no apparent reason. I don't know why I do, but I am an extremely secretive person. And if I don't want someone to find out about something, chances are they won't, just because I'm very good at hiding things, and keeping things under wraps. So they don't know that I do it. I don't know. It's pretty much a secret affair. I don't know. So I hope that answers your question. The next question was asked by Eli Zeromatic, who's been a great viewer ever since I started practically. He was one of the first people to start watching my videos. And he asked, like, what's my favourite LP that I've done? Okay, we're just going to self-destruct. This is becoming a recurring theme, is just self-destructing on the last Pokemon. He asked, like, what's my favourite LP that I've done? And I'd have to say my 2 favourite LPs that I've done, without a doubt, have been Pokemon Yellow and Metroid Prime. And I know that might surprise, like, I know a lot of people love my Pokemon Yellow LP, and that it's one of my more popular ones. But I also know that Metroid Prime has probably been my least popular LP. Like, a lot of the videos on that have barely 100 views, and some of them still have something like 60 views or 50 something views. And it wasn't as popular, and I don't know why. Maybe it was probably something I did wrong or something. Maybe people just didn't connect with it that well. But and as well, maybe there was just too much Metroid Prime about or something. I don't know. But I really loved my Pokemon Yellow LP, because I just think it was so fun. I could really be myself, and it was a great game to LP. And I think the whole, like, doing it as an Ash like gameplay, where I only had Pokemon that he had in the game, really made it even more fun. I don't know. What are we gonna go with? I suppose Pikachu on balance. I hope I didn't just shoot myself in the foot. This is the Celadon gym. It shouldn't be that much trouble, hopefully. So yeah, I really loved that Yellow LP. I really loved doing it, and that's one of the reasons why I really like being back here doing Pokemon Stadium. But I really loved doing Metroid Prime. I feel like with Metroid Prime, it really was, for me, the definition of what a Let's Play should be, and that was just me playing the game and nothing else. And I really loved the way that in Metroid Prime there was so much downtime, because most of it was just travelling between different places, just like in Wind Waker. that I could just talk to you guys, and there wasn't really anything, there weren't really things that I had to explain every video, because past the first couple of videos you pretty much knew everything you needed to know, that I could just go on and talk about whatever I wanted to. And the other thing I really loved about Metroid Prime that I'm proud of is that, notice like the gym battlefield, by the way, it looks really cool. It's like it's hewn out of the surface of the earth. Oh, we have an ice beam for you. Oh no, we don't. Gino's ice beam. We'll have to psychic him. So yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I loved, like, on that Metroid Prime LP, there is not 1 second of actual gameplay cut out of that. The only cuts there are in that game are when I paused on the map screen or something and said, okay, I'll see you back in a minute or whatever. Other than that, every single second of gameplay is in that LP, and I'm really proud of that. I really loved doing that LP. And I think if I love looking back on videos from that Metroid Prime LP, because it really is kind of like a record for me of what was, it's almost like a diary, because it really does record for me what was going on at the time, because I was just able to talk about what was going on in my life, and that's why I really liked the Metroid Prime LP. I really loved it. So I hope that answers it. But yeah, Pokemon Yellow and Metroid Prime are probably my favourites that I've done. But I've loved all of the LPs that I've done, really. Well, at least Bill Murray's gonna take out Dratini. Critical hit! The next question was asked by Doodles and stuff, and that's how do I record? Well, I record using a Dazzle capture card, and I use Pinnacle Studios to capture, and then I use a headset mic and Audacity to record my voice. So I really have been meaning to record one of these, oh, this is how I record my LPs videos, and put it up on the channel, just because I found when I was trying to get into LPing that there weren't enough good videos around there that showed exactly what to do and how to connect everything. But the way that I do it is that basically I have my composite cable coming out of, at the moment, the N64, and then what I do is I split the red into 2 signals, I split the white into 2 signals, and I split the yellow into 2 signals, so that basically you split the signal from the, and then I connect half of the signal to the television and half to the computer, so that basically what's coming up on the television is the same as what's coming up on the computer screen, because the signal's been split between the 2 things. And I use AV splitters to do that, and I find that's the best way to do it. I find it's the least Pikachu, did you take him out in 1 hit? Jeez, Pikachu, I've been underestimating you. Seriously? So yeah, that's the way I record. I have been meaning to record one of those videos, because I found, as I said, I found that there just wasn't enough good information out there when I was trying to get into LPing, so hopefully I'll do that someday soon. The next question is a really hard one. Hold on a sec, what kind of a team does this guy have first? He has Poison, Ground, Normal. I think we're going to go for Rosagina, G, and probably Bill Murray is the safest thing. I hate that nearly every battle is Rosagina, G, and Bill Murray, but it's just that they're the 3 strongest Pokemon on my team, and I don't want to lose and have to go all the way back again. You're going down, Chansey, seriously. You may have like 1,000,000 HP, but I'm going to drive you into the ground with a slash. That's what I'm going to do. Rosagina is just going to walk right up to you and take a slash all over your egg-shaped body. So yeah, what am I talking about? Don't put me to sleep now, you jackass. That's crinkly patterns all over the screen. No, come on. I wonder which would be more powerful. Slash is still more powerful because it keeps critically hitting. The next question was asked by Chromium, and he asked, like, what's my favorite music in a game? And this is going to be the weirdest question that I answer. You're going to be like, what's wrong with you? But my favorite music, I can't answer any one game that has my favorite music, because I love the music in a lot of games. I think if I were to pick one game where the music in that one game is spectacular, I would have to say Chrono Trigger has some of the most amazing music in any game of all time. and it just really, all the music in that game is completely fishing. It's so well written, and it's so engaging. There's like every track is a good one in that game. But like as far as series is, which game series has like the most appropriate and good music, I would have to say I love the music in the Metroid series. And I think from the very first Metroid game, like if you look at the music in Metroid for the NES, the first Metroid game, the music in that for its time is absolutely revolutionary, because video games just didn't have music like that at that time. They didn't. And like it's like a standard now to have that kind of sparse music. But at the time when the first Metroid game was released, that just wasn't the convention. And I think the Metroid games, the music in every single one of them is so fitting, and I just think, like, it's when you ask that question, like, it's the same with, what are you doing? Shaking your booty at us, you're like J-Lo. Nidorina does kind of look like J-Lo, but still. It's like, if you look at film music, I remember, like, one of the things that you hear about film music is that it's the definition of musical wallpaper, that it's supposed to stay in the background and augment, as opposed to be right up in your face. And I think that's one of the things that the Metroid series accomplishes. Like, if you look at Metroid Other M, you hardly notice the music, but it's there. And the reason you hardly notice it is because it's so perfectly in tune with what's going on at the time in the game. And it's always been the same with the Metroid games. I love the music that they write for those games, because the music is always so perfectly appropriate. Whereas, like, I love the music in the Final Fantasy games, but they just do funny things sometimes. Like, the one thing that I haven't said this in the LP yet, but the one thing I would always change in Final Fantasy VI is that when you go downstairs to where Rachel is lying in state, they play that kooky music that goes dum 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 dum, and it's just like, what did you do that for? It is so unfitting. I don't know. Like, they should play Rachel's theme or Locke's theme or something. It's like, they get it all in every Final Fantasy game. They get the music 95% right. There's always just one little thing wrong with, like, what they do. Whereas it's never that way in the Metroid games. The music is always 100% on the money, and it's the same in Chrono Trigger. And, like, I know that Zelda music is really popular, like the soundtracks to Zelda games, but I find a lot of the music in Zelda games to be just a bit meh, kind of, yeah, it's grand, like, but it's not spectacular. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical, but still. So yeah, I hope that answered that question, even though I didn't really answer it. The next question is a pretty short one, and it's like, Chuck Rita asked, like, should he get Animal Crossing for the Wii, even though 3DS one is coming out? Now, this is where my counsel, like, I'll probably advise in a completely different way to anybody else. Because I would actually advise, if you want to get an Animal Crossing game, either get the original for the GameCube, or wait until the one for the 3DS, because I just don't see the point in getting any of the ones in between. Because if you know the pattern, like, if you look at the one that's on the Wii, it's practically, there's no point in having the one for the DS, Wild World, and having Let's Go to the City for the Wii. Oh, we're on to Gym Leader S already, the Gym Leader S. Because Let's Go to the City is just kind of a more boring version of Wild World, and I think they have lost their charm in a lot of ways. Okay, we're going for Rose, Regina, and G first of all, and let's go for Com, because Com hasn't had any screen time. I think that the first one for the GameCube is the best Animal Crossing game. I think it has so much more charm than Let's Go to the City. Now, I haven't played Wild World, but I know it from knowing people who do have it. And they say it's a real, like, there's lots of stuff in it that wasn't in the original for the GameCube. But if you look at, like, the difference between Let's Go to the City and Wild World, it just makes kind of Let's Go to the City seem a bit redundant. So that's why I'd say either get the original for the GameCube, which I love, and which I will always say is the best Animal Crossing, because it has so much charm. I think the characters are so, like, the different villagers are so much more interesting, and the holidays are more interesting, and there's actually more to do in the game itself than there is in Let's Go to the City. I would always say get the original GameCube version, but if you haven't gotten an Animal Crossing game yet, either get the GameCube version, or else wait and see what the 3DS version is like, because that looks quite promising if you ask me. So yeah, that's my advice. You don't quote me on it, you don't have to take it, but that's what I'd say. And I do have videos up of the original Animal Crossing for the GameCube. I have the Let's Live Animal Crossing, and so does Cake Butt Toaster has Let's Live Animal Crossing as well. So if you do want to see what it's like, then just go straight there. Don't put me to sleep. What? Rosagina, you're sleeping on the job these days, seriously?
Falling asleep is going to make this a one-sided fight.
Yes, it is. Falling asleep is going to do exactly that. The next question was asked by Performance V2, another great viewer, and I think he makes videos as well, but he's definitely a brilliant viewer, so... he asked, what's my favorite TV show now, and what was my favorite TV show growing up? My favorite TV show growing up, I had so many of them because I watch a lot of television. I don't watch a lot of television that's new now, but the things that I do watch, I love. Like my favorite television shows now, like recently, I remember when I was 17 and Skins was on. That was the best show. I think you get a really crap version of it in the States that's kind of an Americanized version, but I remember Skins being the thing that everybody watched over here when I was 17 and 18. It was one of those things that you just come in the day after into school the day after it had aired, and everyone would be talking about what was going on in it and how good it was, because it was really, the first two series of that show were really fantastic. After that, it's kind of like a bit bad. It's not as... Oh, come on! Gloom! This Gloom is putting up quite a fight. It's just like the Gloom Erika had in the cartoon. Seriously? Probably, at least it hasn't been lowering my defenses. So yeah, that's another one of my favorite shows. I love Twin Peaks. I have every episode of Twin Peaks on DVD. I love The Twilight Zone. I love The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack is a cartoon that I really like that's on now. I love Regular Show and I love Adventure Time. They're good shows that are on now. What other shows do I like? I love Columbo. I love Murder, She Wrote. I love Kojak. I don't know if you guys get it over there, but I love DL and Pasco. And I love Prime Suspect, the one with Helen Mirren in it. And I love Cracker, the one with Robbie Coltrane in it. They're all so good. What other shows do I like? I'm just trying to think. But when I was growing up, my favorite things to watch were things like Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes. I really liked Courage the Cowardly Dog. As like some of you will know, I have a video that I taped loads of episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog on. I think everyone has one of those videos we discovered that night, Amanda, Dogbotman and I. We discovered that everyone has one of those videos. Oh, Rosagina! Man, this is just the day of people surviving and taking hits and just kicking ass and taking names. That's what today is. Go, Rosagina. Oh no, Execute! You just like... Oh, Execute, you rock. I love Execute and Executor. I love you guys. So yeah, I used to watch Courage. I think everyone has one of those tapes where you kind of taped a load of the same cartoon on the tape and you just have it. Because I have one of Courage the Cowardly Dog and I have one of... let's bring Com in here. No, that's not. Well, no, let's bring Com in here just for that. Even if he dies, G can take out Execute. I just want to see Com. Oh my god, look, he's so like... expandy, I don't know. So that's what I used to watch. I loved the original Rugrats when I was small as well. Go Com! Com is just going to spread himself all over Execute's body. Look at that, it's so appropriate. Sperm attacking an egg. That's exactly what happened here. So yeah, that's what like I used to watch when I was small. And I watch so many things. I just like I even loved comedies when I was small. Like I loved One Foot in the Grave when I was small, and I still love it, and I love Dad's Army and things like that. So I love comedy. I love kind of well-made detective shows and cop shows and things like that. The next question is a really short one. Demosthena Yuan, I think I pronounced that correctly. Asks, how often do I go road bowling? The one with the cannonball and the road. I've never done that in my life. It does happen here, like there's a local crowd that do it. But the one that I like doing is lawn bowling, where you have the small white bowl on the grass called the jack, and then you try and get throw balls as close as possible to the jack without actually touching it. That's the one that I do, lawn bowling. But the people who do it on the road here, the road bowling, they call it bowling. And I think the one that I do, lawn bowling, that I like doing lawn bowling, I think that comes from French. I think it's boules or something like that is what that's called. It's similar to the French one anyway, but I think it's slightly different. So that answers that question. Any questions that you asked on the last video or on this video will be answered in the next video when we take on Fuchsia Jim and its Ninja Master Koga! See you next time on Let's Challenge Pokemon Stadium.